Welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 459, recording live on Thursday, June 9th. I'm one of your hosts, Mo.
I'm another one of your hosts, Kelly.
I'm Adriel.
And I'm Kyle.
And I'm Angry Dave.
Hi, Angry Dave.
Welcome back, Angry Dave.
Still angry from last week.
Dave's attendance is based on how angry he is.
Yes.
And he's
pretty much
really angry.
Livid right now.
I'm angry enough that I have a harmonica.
If he's on next week, I'm going to be really worried. So
yeah. Red flag? Red flag? No.
Yeah, red flag, yes.
If I'm on 3 weeks in a row, I buy a big rig and I go park it in Ottawa for a month.
Oh, dear.
That's next steps.
Oh, dear. Well, we do know. Anyways, we don't want to talk about that.
They pull cash out.
Yeah.
So it's good to have everybody. We can get into what we did with guns because I'm sure we have lots to talk about. What we did with guns is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Centre, Canada's premier firearm retailer. And
I didn't update the thing.
They are selling guns. They may have handguns left. They may.
Did you see?
It's a crapshoot, yeah.
May not have
Everywhere's
handguns
a
left.
Did you
right
see
now.
that they posted a sign on their door saying it's 6 hours wait here and we'll let you in the store?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was craziness.
I went to Cabela's
That's
last night
amazing.
to pick some stuff up, and people were still like, "Hey, you got any handguns?" And they're like, "No,
No.
we're completely sold out. Our warehouse is completely sold out. We won't have handguns for a while."
I was listening on the news, and in the last 2 days, I've heard 3 or 4 different news articles on Global and 640 and 1010 out of Toronto, all about, just this huge rush on handguns. But none of them really mentioned how you get a handgun. So I think people are probably, oh my God, handguns.
Plains did.
Well,
Plains had a really good article on it.
Here's
Who's
the
that?
thing. I've been listening to a couple of podcasts, different things, and people are talking about it. Or even being talked about on mainstream media down the US. And believe it or not, Colin Noir also did a little bit of an update on it too.
Yeah,
I saw his bit. It was
But
good.
I also was listening to Carlton Tucker. And you should go and watch it. Carlson. My name's
I
Carlton.
imagine that was great.
Oh, it was awesome. Go and watch it. Anyways, so I was also listening to a couple of other podcasts as well, and they made some good points though. These are guns that were already sold. We're just buying them because they were sold to the retailers. Now the retailers are liquidating their stock. They don't really have to try hard to liquidate their stock though.
Yeah, they're not giving them away.
No. And then today I also saw some things like there's some auctions going on. People are actually getting rid of their firearms, quote unquote, but people are just bidding ridiculous amounts. I saw one person bought an M&P 9mm for $1,200.
Oh
Secondhand?
no!
Are you kidding me?
Oh no!
It's your last chance, though. I mean,
Hook
realistically,
her up for $800
price-
bucks.
I'd rather have nothing than an M&P for $1,100.
Wow.
the price is what it is, right? If people
Don't
are willing
judge
to
people.
pay it.
I say that, and then Adriel says, "Well, anyways."
I'm going to judge away. I owned an M&P before. I'm just kidding around.
I love M&P.
People take me too
They're
seriously.
M&P
Anyways.
2 maybe. I wouldn't buy an M&P
Too
1.
seriously.
All right.
Well, yeah, I was joking around on my article about like what your first handgun should be, and I'm like revolvers. I'm like, don't waste your time because they're garbage. And people are like, I don't know, like they're like you can use them for like no, just messing around. Man. Come on, I'm not serious.
Nice.
I was asked about it too. Well, actually, we're going to talk about it in the main show, so let's talk about it in the main topic. But
Okay.
remind me, put a pin on it specifically about people asking, what gun should I buy? Right now,
So-
it's whatever you can get.
All the guns.
Laugo Alien or nothing.
You know what?
And then we need to be
Anyway.
friends.
Yeah, let's continue this to the main topic because
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll get started with Mr. Angry. So Dave, what makes you so angry? Go ahead.
You gonna edit this, Adriel?
No, I
Okay,
never
well,
edit.
Well, fuck the liberals. So that's my new greeting.
Wow,
for
we're
any
off
of
to
my
a
gun
fast
friends.
start.
We are. Rather than saying hello or how are you, my first line is fuck the liberals. So there you go. Yeah, so that's why I'm upset. I have been sold 2 handguns, bought 2 handguns. I
Good.
found out that the iPhone if you look at the recent calls, it only actually goes up to 200 recent calls in the list. I didn't know that, and I found that out calling the CFC over the last couple of days. The Canadian Firearms Centre trying to get transfers done, so I've emailed them in and faxed them. Plus, I'm calling, and I just sit there at work and just keep hitting redial while I'm working away and just listen to it in the background run. And inevitably, I get hung up on after
Dave
10,
on there.
10 minutes.
Do they just like?
Yep.
Do they say, "Oh, hey, Dave, how's it going? Why are you
think they
calling
must.
again?
Yeah,
You
they're
called
like, you know,
150 times earlier."
yeah, you know that age roll guy, right? Yeah, we're just hanging up. So I did actually. I pressed 161 and ended up getting into the get a transfer number for non-restricted, and there seems to be at least there's a pile of people working in that office, and they all answer on like the second ring, so they're just sitting around doing nothing. And you get a hold of them, they're like, "Yeah, we don't know how to do restricted," so you transfer to the queue and you get hung up.
Yeah, they move you along. Yeah.
Yeah, but one of them transferred me, and it's like, "You're number 2 in the queue," and I'm like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!" I was actually shaking. I was so excited.
Yeah.
And then they picked it up, and they're like, "Oh, that's restricted? No, we don't do restricted here. They transferred you to the wrong number." I'm like,
Oh.
The cruelty. Oh my god.
"Wrong number." I was like, I don't even know what it was, public safety number or something. But they apparently weren't doing anything either because they just answered. So I suspect there's one room full of like 10 people at the CFC who are like just hating their lives right now and may find themselves unemployed because they won't be doing handgun transfers in very shortly. And then all the rest of the people are probably just sitting there laughing at them and eating cake.
Oh, that's why they're going
my
so
theory.
slow, Dave. After
Could
this,
be.
they're out of a job. That's why they're going so slow on it. They gotta like
Job security.
Yeah, eke that out, make it take as long as possible.
I had a theory about that, which is I wonder if that's why the Liberals set up the non-restricted transfer number, because the mayor of Miramichi complained last time when they were talking about getting rid of the long gun registry that a couple people in Miramichi would be out of a job, and that made national news. So maybe that's the reason. Anyway, so I've been doing that, bought and sold handguns, helped a bunch of people, including a friend of mine who her dad died a couple months ago, and the guy's got a ton of handguns. And she didn't really know what was going on. So I was talking to her. I'm like, "Yeah, you better get those transferred." And she's like, "Oh, I'll do it in a week or two, maybe. I don't know."
Sorry, I don't mean to.
Ugh.
I don't mean to go.
Yeah.
Thank you for informing her and letting her know, and that way she can get that done, because that would have been really sad. It would have been really sad.
Yep.
It would be, and that's what her and her dad did together. Was they shot long-range silhouette handguns. So I gave her all the paperwork. She filled it out, emailed it, gave it to me. I faxed it for her, and hopefully it all gets through in time. Because if those don't get transferred, she's just going to be absolutely devastated.
Oh, I like this comment from Grey Birch. I resemble that remark, by the way. Anyways.
Adriel, what have you been up to?
I don't know, some stuff, I guess. 2 weekends ago, I had a Maple Seed doubleheader at Tabor and Drumheller. Fun times. And yeah, really good support from the ranges. The ranges like really went out of their way to make it easy. Those are both solo, so just me at both of them, and it was a great time. Got a new IIT out of the Tabor event. Yep, nice. Which is good, because the whole idea why I really want to do more events down south is that we need more IITs, we need more instructors, and that's how you get them.
I have to say, though, the Drumheller range is probably the most beautiful range in this whole entire country.
It's a picture like at night when I got there, and it was like, oh, it looks so good. The purples and blues, it's fantastic.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah,
you remember good times in Drumheller?
I do. I love that place. That whole area is one of my favorite places now.
Yeah,
I got to hang out with my favorite people for like 3 days. It was amazing.
I know, it was awesome.
Yeah, so good.
I saw you in your underwear too.
You did. You did. Shame on you. Shame on you.
That's an important point. That's a very important point.
Hashtag me too.
Yeah. Thanks for not putting in a complaint. Anyways.
That's okay.
What else I do? National Range Day. So we did National Range Day at Sherwood Park. I handled the handgun booth with a couple of other people.
How was that?
Maybe some listeners. Maybe some listeners of the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, that's awesome.
They were
So
fantastic. We had a couple of MLAs come out, and one MLA brought his new Shadow 1. He's like, I haven't shot it yet, but I'm looking to like try it out. And so he cracked his
that's
Shadow
awesome.
1 out and got some
Nice.
rounds out downrange with it. And I gave some like training tips on like grip and stance and all that kind of stuff to him and the other MLA and a whole bunch of people that came through. And yeah, it was a really good time. Really easy.
How many people went through, do you think?
Between 30 and 50. I didn't count.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mostly
good.
previous gun
Around there.
owners or inexperienced, or what was your mix?
Oh, mostly inexperienced. Most people I was showing how to shoot handguns had not shot a
Perfect.
handgun before.
Very
That's,
cool.
that's perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what it was there for.
Nice.
Yeah, I had 2 military police come through. Other than
Nice.
that, pretty much all inexperienced shooters who
Awesome.
hadn't shot handguns before.
Could
So,
the military
yeah,
police hit anything? Just
They were good.
asking. Awesome.
Yeah, they were into it. So
Yeah.
I think like if you take like a general, like a cop off the shelf, like their handgun skills are going to be like, not that great. But if you take someone who like a cop or a military who's like into it, they'll generally be pretty good. A lot of them are like they put time into their skills, and it shows when they grab the gun and they press out. And you're like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing.
A lot of the ones that
Taking a
are
training
into
course.
it too, they shoot on their own time, right? They have their own guns because they just don't generally get that much trigger time at work.
Well, I think
Depends on the unit there.
has a budget for like training ammo, so you can like buy training ammo or get training ammo and do whatever you want to on your own time with it.
It
right?
actually
that's cool.
It does depend on which unit they're with. So yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it would have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a new shotgun.
You did.
I mentioned it, but I didn't pull it out last week because we had the whole
Oh,
YouTube
we
thing going
had
on.
the YouTube thing. Yeah.
Yeah. This is an IJ12. It's a Soviet
That's the Russian one?
over-under shotgun. And I don't know. It's like a heavy duty, very heavy, like the safety on it's like stiff as heck, and so are the triggers. But I don't know. It was an over-under shotgun for $300, so that's neat. And I think like a lot of people like this is a pretty popular model, and there are not a lot of really decent reviews out there on it.
You're gonna do one.
Yeah,
obviously.
I found one guy who like shot some clays at the range. He's like, I could shoot clays with it, but like that guy's like a master, like shoots clays all the time. Like you could put up one of those like slam fire shotguns that they do for the gun buybacks probably in that guy's hands, and he'd probably like go for all 25 with that.
Nice.
Right? Too much, too much hyperbole.
Yeah.
Did the Maple Seed Shoot Boss call? That was good. I did an article on handgun tips for new handgun owners, and if you could own one handgun for the rest of your life, what would it be? So I did like an article and video for each of those. Actually, I did do a video on the tips.
You what? Sorry.
And
Shadow.
Shadow.
Yeah.
I think that's the obvious one.
Yep.
Glock 48. I have written down here Glock 48 due today. No. Ooh. The nice thing about the Alberta CFO is that they're fast, as we were talking with them last week, and they were prioritizing this kind of stuff. So I bought this on June 1st, and it was at my house today.
From a store or?
Okay.
Online. Yeah. Store in Lethbridge or Lloyd. Prophet River. I can't remember which one it is. Starts with an L.
Nice.
Well, us in Ontario, we wait.
No such luck for you. I think I saw that the Ontario transfers that are getting done right now are like early May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a month before they get to yours.
Somebody posted an email on Gun Nuts that they had 1,600 come in May, and they're still working on those, and they had 14,000 come in like the last 2 days.
14,000. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I would bet it's
probably way more than that.
Yeah, it's got to be more than that.
Those are still sitting at the CFC, right? Because they get processed there at the gatekeepers for some bizarre reason, and then get passed to your CFO. So I don't know how long we're going to be waiting in Ontario, but
long time. Alberta's quick. Well, not only was the CFO transfer was quick, the shipping was quick because they're in Alberta. Basically, like I got the shipping notice, and like the next day it was here, which is really nice.
So
I don't know if you guys have like, done a lot of. I don't know if you've done a lot of shooting with Glock 48s, but I've done a little bit of shooting with them. I've never owned one. They're nice and compact. I was considering getting like because I was like, okay, I got the budget for one gun before this. Like, if a freeze goes in, what should be a gun that I get? I kind of want something with like a small grip on it. I've got like that CF98, but tried finding mags and holsters and that kind of thing for it. It's not going to happen. So I was looking around at what was available, and the Glock 48s were cheap and good name and slim and probably gonna have parts and all that kind of stuff around for a while. So
Yeah.
opted just for a Glock 48 with not the MOS. The MOS one was like $850 or $900 or something like that.
Yeah.
I cannot justify spending $900 on something that doesn't shoot that great. Because they do have a small grip on them. The trigger is kind of mushy. It's a Glock trigger, right? It's not fantastic, but cool little pistol. I don't know if you've ever looked at like a Glock 17 mag versus a Glock 48 mag.
Oh, wow.
This is kind of one of those don't you ever talk to my son ever again kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Talk to me or my son ever again? Yeah. They're tiny little mags. Just before the show here, we're stacking them in to see if it was like a double stack or if it was single stack. It's staggered. So they stagger slightly as they go
Single
down
in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, single in a bit. I wouldn't call it like a proper double stack, but they do stagger them a little bit in there. And if you look at them, like this is shorter than my 10 round 1911 mags, so they do save a little bit of space in there. The rivet makes them sad. Yeah, the rivet on the Glock 17 mag.
Yeah.
The nice thing on the Glock 48, like the size of the grip and the magazine, we don't have to run pinned mags on them. The mag, as it's sized, fits 10 perfectly. So you're not giving up anything on the grip, which is
It's cool.
kind of nice. Yeah, kind of nice.
Cool.
Mags
I like
mags for this thing are $55 though. I can get a P mag for like 25, or I can get a Glock 48 mag for $55. It's twice as much. Shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Maybe Magpul makes some mags for it. Maybe give them enough time and they'll make some for it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I would hope that they do
We'll have to
because
see.
they're so much cheaper. And I just
There's got
can't.
to be something out there for aftermarket for that.
Well, I got 3 mags. I just need 2 more, but I should probably just get the Glock mags so that if I end up getting like floor plates for them, who's going to make that though? Who's going to make aluminum floor plates for Glock? No one. What am I even talking about? I'll buy whatever cheap mags come out for.
Oh, I bet you there are extended base pads and whatnot
would think
for
so.
I bet you.
There'll be go fast bets somewhere.
For a Glock, no, like in the States,
I bet you there's ones with a finger groove. Bet you they got ones with the finger groove.
Maybe I could use like a little bit there. It's not that bad though. Like in terms of grip,
Yeah.
I don't have a bad. It's very thin, so like my big hands, there's not a lot of meat there left. It's basically I'm just grabbing onto my own hand there. But it's a Glock. It'll run. This is my first factory Glock, and I've heard about like, oh, there's copper grease on the inside. I get to see the copper grease, the factory fresh stuff in there.
Ooh.
And what I like to see is that there's signs that it's been shot. So it was shot at the factory, and they didn't just like kick it out and rely on the people to
It's fine.
fire it.
It's
It's
fine.
probably fine. Glock's a little bit
Oh,
better
good.
than that. So they actually like test fired it at the factory to make sure the stupid thing runs, which
Cool.
sounds small, but I've reviewed quite a few guns that were not test fired and should have been test fired.
Well, they used to
Brave
come with
Fox?
like 2 shells,
Yeah,
2
right.
casing that they shot out of it in your case.
My Ruger Wrangler actually
Have
had a casing with it.
Really?
Yep. A
Weird.
little envelope had been signed.
Yeah, mine didn't.
No case.
It's usually,
So
like, I think, the
Mike's
manila
saying that if
whatever.
so I've just put it up here. So Mike H is saying that if you need a holster for your Glock, says Gray Fox is running 15% off tomorrow for holsters.
I'll have to take a look at that because I will need a holster.
You're going to need one.
I was thinking about like if my kid uses that 3-gun or something like that. I think I've got some of those like GLSs that they could use because that'll just hold everything. So
Yeah,
I might
well.
try that. Jeez, I'm gonna try that while the next person talks. Anyways, Glock 48. I helped 3 buddies buy handguns. Their handguns are like all shipping right now. They're all in Alberta, so their handguns are all in the mail, kind of a thing.
Land
That's
is
gonna be
freedom.
really neat. I'm excited for them. I'm actually really excited for
That's
them because
good.
like they've been sitting on it for a while, and they're like, nope, time's
Yeah,
now. So they
get after it.
broke out. Yeah, they get after it. One of them got a CZ P10F and not the Ruger Wrangler. What's the other one? The Heritage Rough Rider, and the other one got Shadow 1.
Nice.
I think they're both like good choices. I think the Shadow 1's like slightly better for IPSC and that kind of a thing, but a P10F's fine too. Like it's polymer, striker fired. It's going to be a little bit simpler. If you ever want to shoot 3-gun, and like that little bit of extra simplicity is kind of nice.
I almost bought one of those, but I decided to go with a Glock instead because I've never owned a Glock. So I'm like, gotta get a Glock now, or
gotta get a Glock. Gotta get a Glock. I bought a C71 receiver. That's the 1022 receivers that Spectre Ballistics makes, and it's sitting upstairs. I forgot to even bring it down here. I've got a Gray Birch Takedown La Chassis that I'm going to be putting a Ruger 1022 Takedown into. So I'm going to be building 2 more 1022s over the next month here. Cabela's had a sale on BX triggers. So I went to Cabela's last night. They had their Wild Wednesday thing, $99. All day long.
Did you not tell me?
All day long.
Why did you not tell me?
Did I not post that on the group chat on Facebook?
I'm sorry. If you did, I missed it.
Should have.
I'm gonna go. You didn't, and you
Which?
The BX triggers for $99.
No.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry,
No.
guys. That was a really good deal. Some of Cabela's like Wild Wednesday deals are really good. Yeah.
Gray Birch bought 20 of them last night. He says.
Nice.
Well, what else do you get? That's the full trigger pack, right? Like you could get a kit or something like that. But oh my god, so
Brandon,
much more.
Brandon's asking how long the process will take to get your RPL in Ontario, and is it even worth it?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But like, many things could happen between now and then. But you're talking about you're outlaying $50 or whatever it is for the RPAL course in Ontario.
You're still running them.
Plus the paperwork. It's probably going to take you like 6 to 9 months to process an RPAL. In normal times. It's probably delayed a little bit right now. So let's say like 9 months to a year.
Well, people are pointing out on gun nuts.
We could have an election, like
the
lots
court
of
challenge. There's things that could happen.
People are pointing out gun nuts.
Worth. My RPAL was 10 months. Got it in April in Ontario.
Yeah,
that's Richard's.
Let's I would like to say go get your RPAL because who knows what'll happen. But the pragmatic side of me says you're not gonna be able to do it in time.
You could
Liberal have support on the bill from the ND. Like the only thing the NDP and Bloc didn't like was the air guns thing. So at best they might remove the air guns thing and it'll still move forward in September. And they don't need any of that to administratively stop transfers. They can administratively stop transfers anytime.
Right.
And then that's it. So
that is correct. We can also return it too. Overturn it, not return it.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. And I mean, like the cool thing with like buying your restricteds is most shops are like, okay, you pay for it, but like you only pay for it if it's actually transferred to you and we're able to put it in the mail, kind of a thing, right? Yeah. So a lot of people are cool with not leaving you hold the bag with buying yet not receiving a handgun.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear that? So Jen, who's on the show last week, she updated and posted a news article in the CSAAA. She said in the SECU meeting today that everybody unanimously consented to move the motion on the handgun freeze/OIC has been denied. So to move forward with it, so they shot it down in SECU.
What do you mean they shot down what part though?
They shot down to talk about it, basically bring it forward. I'm gonna have to open.
So they're just pushing it to September then.
They're pushing it, yeah. So I'm gonna have to look at this, but I just I've been going through and looking at any news articles, and that's the one that got posted most recently. So yeah, they'll push it. They're running out of time anyways as well before the house rises.
Yeah, because there were a lot of rumors that this was going to be immediate, and now it sounds like it's not going to be.
And you're right. There are some people that are not liking the bill from all sides, basically, specifically.
The only thing the NDP and Bloc complained about was the airsoft thing. They didn't like that.
Yeah, but
I don't think that they wouldn't. They might even block the bill if the bill goes forward as it is right now. I don't think they'll block it just because it's going to ban some airsoft stuff. I think.
But am I wrong that they're actually getting negative press, and they even got it from CBC, which was shocking. So it's not
a little bit
like they're actually getting some static about it. So we'll see.
I was quite surprised that somebody from CBC actually asked Trudeau if you say that legal handgun owners aren't the problem, how will this affect criminals? And he just completely dodged the question and answered the question he wished they'd asked. But I'm like, I was impressed that it was CBC that asked that. I'm like, wow, you're not getting out of the news.
Evan Solomon took Marco Mendicini to task, and he was roasting him, and it was good. So
okay.
Cool.
So here's what. Thanks, Richard, for having my back there. He said it was shot down, so basically avoiding the need for public consultation and committee review. Thank you.
Okay,
that's exactly what it was.
That they can do that and just do whatever the heck they want to, though. Public consultation. They did that with the C-72. And they turned around 71. And just did whatever they wanted to do, anyways, right? Okay, where was I? Yes, I went to Cabela's and got a BX trigger and some other small things.
Yeah, you were holding out on us.
I was holding out on you guys. Sorry, guys. I got the last one at Cabela's South Edmonton. They had just one. I'm like, yo, here it comes. They didn't want to have to mail order or do the pickup, and because their pickup is I don't know, bad. I got a 3-gun match this weekend on Sunday.
Sweet.
Me and the boy are going out. Oh, we've been doing a bunch of dry fire practice in the basement here, practicing reloading mags and that kind of. Both my boys actually have been practicing that with me. And the younger one's real fast on his. We're practicing with my GSG 1911, and he can press out, get a sight picture, pew, and then reload, pew, reload, and get 4 mags in there. 5 because one on the gun in 12 seconds, which is
oh my gosh.
He's nice. 10 or 11. Yeah, it's moving
good.
Yeah, so that's good. I don't know if you guys have tried buying 20 gauge, but it just I've tried. Every time I go to the gun store, I'm like, do they have any Target 20 gauge so I can add a couple boxes in case my kid wants to shoot a 3-gun match? No.
Can you shove a 26 gauge in there and then you and Kelly could share ammo? I don't know how this works.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Need a hammer. Just tap it in.
If I could find 2 40s and put them in there, maybe that would work out to a 20. I don't know. But they don't really have any. So I got a box and a half. It's not going to do it. I mean, he's going to be around my 12 gauge. So he's been practicing with my 12. It's fine. It's a heavier gun, but I think the recoil is going to be the same because it's a heavier gun, but it's shooting 12 gauge. I think it's going to be the same all out. And it's an objectively better quality shotgun than the Pardis 20 gauge that he was running. So less likely to fail on him, I guess. Yeah, it should be good. I've been working over my WSMCR, making sure it's ready for that match, and I just put a new fiber in my Shadow 2 because it was looking like it was starting to pull through. So I put another one in there, and I made I don't know, those mushrooms on both sides. They're huge this time. It's not going to come out unless it breaks. So I'm good on that.
Don't you hate that? You're in the middle of shooting a competition, all of a sudden there is no front fiber or optic in your. You're going,
slows me down a lot. Slows me down a lot.
In my case, no front sight one time. That slowed me down.
Yeah.
At least with the fiber out, you could still aim and shoot. It's just if you're used to looking for the red and just mashing it on anything that looks brown with the red, it totally ruins your mojo.
Yeah.
One other thing. So I brought all my pistols out to the Sherwood Park event. I was hoping if anyone wanted to buy my Terra, they would be like, "Hey, I like that," but no such. The first person to shoot it had a jam with it.
Making the upsell there, Adriel.
Yeah. You know what gun everyone wanted to shoot? The red dot 1911.
Oh yeah,
everyone wanted to shoot that one. Yeah. And they're like, that one. I'm like, it's just in a Rinko. They're like, nope. Everyone wanted to shoot that one. So that one got a bunch of rounds through it. And then some people afterwards came back again for another round, and they're like, I want something without the red dot. And they try the Glock, and they're like, oh, I like that way better. They just because it's shooting red dot versus iron sights, right? But some people really like the red dot. Some people like the iron sights. It was interesting. Oh, sorry, that was a lot of stuff, but that was 2 weeks. That was 2 weeks worth of stuff.
Thanks, Trevor.
getting some stuff done right now. I'm not angry enough. Sorry.
That's true.
I could call you names or something.
Don't have a good enough beard either. Don't look like a hobo. It's not hobo enough.
I'll grow it out some more.
It's not.
What about you, Kyle?
A couple weekends ago, installed some cold range lights on the rifle range. Just got a little bit more work to do on that, and just getting prepped. I had also went to our dynamic pistol night there again, and we had actually a pretty cool little fun stress test. I have a video, but it's a couple minutes long, and I still have a list here, so I don't think I'm actually going to pull that up. But it was fun, carrying weights, do this little course, and shooting through barriers and that. And I bought a couple pistols. First one I bought was a Canik TP9 SFX Rival from Marstar. And then I was bugging me, so I figured I'd call Korth, and they had some Ruger 5.7s there. So bought one of those. And actually today my transfer notification came in for my Ruger, but not my Canik, which is interesting. So this is definitely the longest I've had to wait for a transfer notification. But yeah, I think I actually got the last Rival too, because I went on there to show Crystal which one I bought, and it was showing out of stock right after I bought it. So
I don't know if you saw, but I think Tyson was selling his personal like competition mags, because I saw some at Wolverine. If you're looking for some cheap mags for the Canik.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they had the aluminum bumpers on them and everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I'll have to check that out. Because yeah, I definitely want some mags for that. We went and hung out in the range on Saturday, so National Range Day. There was no real big event at our range, but we just went down as a family, hung out. Crystal went, shot some sporting clays, get some practice in, and I had unloaded, well, we had targets show up, so unloaded the truck of clay targets, and yeah, hung out with Gage and all day, and then had a fire there at night, so it was nice family day at
It
the
was
range.
a fire on purpose, correct?
Yes, on purpose.
I'm just checking.
It's a fire on purpose.
Yeah, ordered some wings and had a fire. It was a good
Firemen
night.
came by. It was lovely.
Yeah, they were really friendly.
Yeah.
I'll be curious about that Ruger 57, how that thing is to shoot, because or the 5.7 rather, because yeah, it's kind of a cool round.
Yeah, I shot a 5.7, like an FN 5.7 before, and always thought it was really interesting. Although I did, after buying the gun, I then went and checked out ammo.
Nah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the cheapest I found was like 90 cents a round.
I kind of hope that more people would make carbines in that, and that it would actually become like a pistol caliber carbine round, because it'd be awesome out of a PCC.
What about reloading?
Well, and then I realized that there's the is it PS90 is the 5.7, and I'm like, oh, I've never really wanted one before, but now I kind of do.
Yeah. It's a neat little round. You can basically put a round right through an M3 Bradley from end to end, from what I hear. So, you know,
yeah,
be a good hunting.
Well, our dynamic pistol group, we got another thing of ballistics gel coming, so I'm actually gonna get them to hold off until I have the gun and some ammo, because that's a round I want to see in the ballistics gel and see how that does, and more level 2 armor that we need to dispose of. So
cool.
And Crystal decided that she wants to shoot the Team 3-gun match in Peace River this year.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
yeah. And she's already got a teammate, and her teammate shooting in the 22 division, so we went out and bought her a 22.
Nice.
That's actually really cool. Oh, that's exciting. I'm happy for her.
Oh,
so
that's
we
why
went
you're
and got
asking.
her. Yeah, and I said it was too late because we already owned it. So I bought her the Mauser M15, which is pretty much here. This is why I have this camera. All intents and purposes from what I'm seeing, it's the same thing as the GSG G15.
Yep.
Same mags.
Yep.
Actually found some mags. So yeah, I ordered up some 45 degree rail mounts because it come with iron sights. So I'm going to mount those on a 45 for her and get one of my loopholes back for my dad and mount it on there. And yeah,
She's
she'll
all
be-
good to go.
That'll
she'll
be
have her
fun.
rifle.
I want pictures. I want
I,
video. You're going to have to take those.
That'll be a blast.
Yeah.
Oh, of course there's going to be video. There's always video. But finished building an M2 for her, so because she'll use my spare M2 that I'm in the middle of building. Haven't decided what she's
Spare.
going to use for a pistol. It'll either be my Glock 17 or my Canic. But either way, I now figured, okay, yeah, we buy the... Well, until she found out she was going to be shooting in 22, I was like, okay, I have all the guns for you. It's all good. You're set up. But now I realize I have to, besides the actual belt, I have to buy a whole belt setup for left hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Left hand holster and mag pouches and that. So, yeah, but that'll be good. And they're bumping up the team match. So I actually, hopefully that transfer comes in for the Canic because I'd like to have her shoot that and see. If not, yeah, she can always shoot the Glock. And
Here, take this. See if it works.
well, you know
Do you
what?
wanna-
Nils shoots that Canic and he's one of the top. So I figured it's got to be at least decent.
Do you want a recommendation for an inexpensive holster?
Sure.
They've got knockoff Safariland GLSs on AliExpress. I run this one every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's the same.
I just couldn't not say anything.
Except it's $10.
This is a Glock 48 in this one. So we're
It's
working
working?
great. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
And the nice
Holster
thing is
hasn't
that
exploded
if you
or given you lead
change-
poisoning yet.
What's that?
Holster hasn't exploded or given you lead poisoning yet.
Well, you never know about the lead poisoning or the cancer. It can always
Talk
be
about
getting
that
you-
holster. It has a little bit of play to it. Not as,
Here's
but
some
it still works
rattling.
pretty good.
Oh yeah, there's a little bit of rattle on them because they lock onto the trigger guard, and it's not a tight close in on the rest. But the nice part is that it comes right out as soon as you disable it. It's just popping out of there. There's no resistance.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, I'll check that out. I was thinking I might give my buddy down in Wyoming a call and see what he can put together for that. But yeah, we gotta get that figured out soon because we don't actually have a date. But especially with everything going on, I think they're talking moving it up to late July, early August. So
Oh,
but
gotta
it
get on
will be
that then.
nice not to think that it might actually snow and we have to bring winter clothes and everything. So other than
Anyway.
that, I finally broke down my 650 and rebuilt it to fix that loading issue. Now it's working a little bit better. Like I sat down for an hour and loaded a small batch of ammo, as Mo would say.
Is it Mo's size?
All batch. Nice.
Well, yeah, it was a small batch. It's only an hour.
Okay.
It's 800 rounds, but
Okay. No, it's not Mo's
That's
size.
not a small batch. What are you talking about?
but it was still hiccuping a little bit. So I'm thinking maybe shell plate, but it was a much better. Like before, it was taking an hour to get 400 rounds done. So
yeah, nice.
yeah, and I also finally fixed up my WK, drilled out the receiver, put that brass bushing in for the piston, and got that put together. So that's ready to go now.
Nice.
And I love Thingiverse. I'm working on a couple different ideas for potential trophies for our sporting clay match in July.
Oh, that's cool.
So we'll see. We got playing around with a couple designs, see what the people at the club think and whatnot. And then this weekend I have a company shoot. Sporting clays on Saturday, and I'm cooking up I think 3 briskets for that. And then Sunday I'll be in Peace River for the 3-gun.
Cool.
So yeah, it's been a
Busy boy.
busy couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. And lots of new guns.
Yeah. More
All right,
new guns
who's
than I was
next?
expecting, but
Sorry. Sorry,
What?
I interrupted.
Kelly wants us to move along. So
Oh, well, Kelly, what did you do?
What did I do? I did a whole bunch. It's been a couple of days or a couple of weeks since we talked about this. So I shot a steel match. It was kind of a steel match-ish. Anyways, a group of us went and shot it, and it was fun. What else did I do? Oh, I signed up. I got kind of asked, I got asked if I wanted to do some stats and some scorekeeping at an IPSC match that's going to be held at FRPC next weekend. So I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to shoot it as well. So it's exciting. I'm going to do another IPSC match.
Nice.
I'm doing this weekend. I am doing the ATT course for new member orientation this weekend. So I got asked to do that. So I'm going to lead it this time as opposed to the other person. So he wants to give it away to people, and why not? I can take on more stuff. So that's that. And what else? I bought ammo at SFRC. Yeah, I bought it when there was a good deal going on, but I actually didn't get the discount, which was weird. So I went, oh well, it is what it is. I'm happy to pay full price just because they always give me a really good deal, and I like to support SFRC. Then the other thing that happened with everything that was going on, I kind of was looking at the Shadow 2 when I was buying the ammo, and I went, no, I'm going to hold off to see what happens on Monday because I just don't know, Anyway, so the announcement was made, and then that Shadow 2 was gone, or all the Shadow 2 was gone, or were gone. But I have some friends at SFRC, and they said, we just got some Shadow 2s in. I said, put one away for me right now. Here's my everything. So I bought a Shadow 2. So
Nice.
Which is nice. Oh yeah. Anyways, and then on Wednesday night went and did the usual, Wednesday night meeting that I do with Kelly. We went and shot some clays, and it was weird. We had some really weird winds happening, so we had the clays were all over the place, but we still had a really good time. Okay, let me say that it was a good time because we were out shooting, and I was running really, really well right from the get-go. But by the time I got to Station 6, everything just fell off the wheel. The wheels fell off the bus. I couldn't hit a clay if I threw my. I couldn't hit a clay after that, and then I actually lost. I had a full box of shells, and I ended up with only 24, so I didn't finish because I couldn't find the other shell. I looked everywhere. I thought I dropped it. Anyways, it was just a weird night. So did that last night, but it was still fun. We got to chat a little bit, and we also got to break some clays. So I did the Maple Seed call, as Adriel was talking about. We do those every Wednesday nights. And we also did the She Shoot call on Tuesday nights. And just to let you know, the next episode of She Shoots is next Tuesday. So the episode itself is called Boots, Chaps, and Cowboy Hats. I was going to say boots, assless chaps, and cowboy hats, but nobody wanted to have that.
Plus, all chaps are assless, so yeah.
That's true, right?
Otherwise, they'd be pants.
Correct. So it's boots, chaps, and cowboy hats, and we're gonna have Sarah Hisson on. I think some of you might know Sarah Hisson. Anyway,
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, she is awesome, isn't she?
Yeah,
so she's going to be on. She's going to be talking about cowboy action and women getting into it. So it's going to be lots of fun. So the last thing that I did that I wanted to talk about was Range Day. So Range Day, I went to EOSC, so the nation's capital. I was there. So that's the one that everybody saw with all the bouncy castles and slides, and we had popcorn and cotton candy, and we also had a lot of shooting that was happening. So not only did I was just talking about cowboy action. So we had a cowboy action demo that was set up. It was awesome. I was working in the Pistol Bay, so we got to see lots and lots of people. The really cool thing was there was a lot of families that came out. Specifically, they came out, one, because it was free for kids, but they had, again, bouncy castles and, popcorn and candy. So I saw a lot of people bring kids, anywhere from, there was kids that are literally just walking. So 2-year-olds right up until, teens and that. And there was whole families that were there, and it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of preparation that went into it as well. So Tracy Wilson did a fantastic job in USC, had lots of people that were there for volunteers, they strung up, it was like a carnival. So they strung up these carnival, the little pendant flags and everything. They strung those all up, and there was face paint. There was all kinds of really cool things that were happening. So we had a rifle range that people could go and shoot everything from 22 up, 223, 556. Vortex Optics, or Vortex was there. So Reg Wales, we had Peter Ray was there, and Ken, one of my faves, was there, and they gave away swag. I got a new hat. I actually picked out a black hat originally, and it was one of those low profiles where it was, everything was just very discreet. And I'm going, hell no, I'm going to wear this one because you can see the logo, and I'll wear it on the show. Anyways, they were there. People could shoot for free with Vortex as well, and they gave away all kinds of different swag. Lots of fun too. Those guys are really, really cool. And then we had a range dedicated to kids who could shoot. It was unlimited for them. They could shoot whatever they wanted. Pascal, who is one of our instructors for Project Maple Seed, he was there and he ran that range, and he brought his daughter Avery. Now, the National Range Day promo material that you saw going around, there was one like the one that's behind me currently, the black and white, and then there was one with a little girl, and she has on a pink hat and the big ears. You saw that one?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody saw that one?
Yes.
So that's Avery. So that picture, I'm not sure people know this or not. I took that picture at a Maple Seed event. So Avery was there with her dad, and she was shooting a CZ, and she was cute as a button. So I took the picture. And then the CCFR asked if they could actually use it for promo material, and I got permission from Pascal, her father, and he said, sure, no problem. Anyways, so they used it for the National Range Day, and Avery is no longer that little girl that's beside her. Well, she's still pretty, I think she's about 12 or 13. Anyways, she's still pretty tiny and she's cute as button. So she was helping her dad at the kids booth and running kids through, and she's a competitive ORPS and CRPS, and she does Rimfire Nation and that. And so she brought her medals so that she could show all the kids, and she brought her gun that she competes with so they can see this really cool gun. Anyways, so she walked up beside Tracy, and Tracy told me this story, and she was smiling at Tracy, and she's going like,
you know
I'm here.
You know me, right? And Tracy's looking at her, and she goes, do you know me? And Tracy goes, no. And she goes, that's me. She's Tracy's standing right beside the sign. She goes, that's me. It was awesome.
Nice.
Anyways, so she is huge into shooting right now, and her goal is to be in the top 3 for Rimfire Nation so that she can go down to the US with her dad, and that's going to be one of the trips. And maybe I should and let the cat out of the bag. Anyways, so it's a great story.
Kelly, did you have anyone show up with a National Range Day T-shirt?
Yeah.
You had one guy show up, and I didn't even know. Like, I saw him show up with a National Range. I'm like, oh. Are you like a volunteer? He's like, no, I just got the T-shirt off the website. I'm like, what? There's a thing?
There's
They
t-shirts?
are available. We had a vendor there selling them in that, and you can go to the website. You can still go to the website and get the hats and T-shirts. It's going to be a year-long thing, year after year, that you can go and do this.
Good.
So yeah, you can go and order all the swag. We had people showing up in it. I got a staff T-shirt. It was kind of cool, actually, really nice. And that so I was doing pistol. One of the best shooters. I was at the MMP station, 9mm. Anyways, I had one of the best shooters. He came up. He wanted specifically to shoot the MMP, and the reason is because he does airsoft, and that's his pistol. He's 15 years old. His dad was taking video of him, and he was a pro with it. And he was super safe, but he was the best shooter. And like, he was back dab on for everything, and he said, this is cool. I like the real thing. I like my airsoft, he says, too, but I like the real thing. And his dad was so proud of him.
Nice.
It was awesome. So it was a really, really good day. I got to hang out with a lot of really cool people. I got to meet a lot of really cool people, but the biggest thing was there was so many families there. It was just really nice. The other thing is also we had a couple of MPs that showed up. But I got to meet in person Lisa Roper, which is fantastic because I've chatted with her repeatedly. We had her on She Shoots and that, and she's a really nice person too. And I got to see some of my other friends that are part of that industry too. So I liked it. It was fun.
Cool.
I really enjoyed it. So I think that's everything I did. It's a lot. I talked a lot, sorry, and really fast too. But Mo, I wanted to get to you.
How much time do I have, Kelly?
Talk faster.
Talk faster. Okay, so I went to Waterloo for
Faster,
a
faster.
level
Go, go,
3
go, go.
match, IPSC match just this afternoon. Ended only a few hours ago. It was a great squad of guys.
Awesome.
It moved along so well. Because it was a level 3, there was definitely a lot of tough, like, distance shots and partials. And there was some interesting things, like one of the stages had a wall with a rope, and so there was a IPSC target to the right and an IPSC target to the left, and to engage them you had to hang from the, like, swing out from the holding the rope. Now, I saw some people do it where, like, they went to the right and then kind of went underneath themselves and shot, still strong hand, and shot on the other side. And I didn't do that. And not everybody did it that way anyways, but I basically, like, went to the right, shot it, let go of the rope, switched hands. Like, I didn't want to sweep myself at all. So I did it that way. There was another stage with a moving platform, which was also the first time I've done that, and that was interesting. And we were shooting at steel on a moving platform, and some other.
Those are fun.
Yeah, that was challenging,
Yeah.
but it was still fun. And then there was a lot of, like, tight corners and potential 90 breaking 90 and stuff. But it went really well. We had another stage where it was like you would start at the I guess front end of it, and then work your way backwards. And so that
okay.
was great too. Like I
This
said,
challenge.
oh yeah, and it was.
Yeah.
I think I did pretty well. Not every stage, but I was really happy with how I did.
Yay.
And it was supposed to rain, and it didn't. Like, it was kind of spitting a little bit at the beginning, but then we didn't really get any rain, and it was nice because it wasn't 30 plus. And yes, I was drinking water. I even brought a Gatorade today too. So that was
Wow.
that was a new thing.
Did you have
Um,
trail mix?
No. No trail mix. Should I be having trail mix now too? Is that another?
I hear Mo
course.
just stuffed pizza in his pockets, and that was dinner for the day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, a slice in each pocket, and you're good.
So yeah, it was just a lot of fun. And like I said, the squad was really great. Jarrett, that listens to the show, he was in my squad.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, great guy. And
Yeah.
for my national range day, I went to Cornwall, and that was run by Jen, who was on one of our guests from last week.
Yep.
And she did a
Nice.
fantastic job. Not just her, but the rest of their board. Don't want to forget anybody, but Bruce, the president, Jim, that does their training, another Jim that kind of runs their, like, events and stuff.
Yep.
And they had set up all great guys. They were so welcoming to everybody. And Jen had set it up where they had groups of people coming, like, every 2 hours, 8:30, 10:30, and so on, right? And they had set up some 20, like a 22 pistol and a 22 rifle, so they got to shoot those. And then also there was an open house for anybody that just wanted to come in to watch. And then part
Nice.
of that was they had a group of the cowboy action shooters there. And so I think there's 4 of them. And so they were in their get up, and they had set up all sorts of stuff, and it was so cool. And Armand, that was on our show a couple months ago, I guess, he was there, and it was great to meet him in person. He had his daughter there. He gave me a holster, and he puts a 45 on me, and then next thing you know, I'm, like, getting to shoot one of their stages, which was so much fun. So I got to do that. And they also had at another range, they had set up an IPSC stage, and they weren't letting people shoot it, of course, but they had some of the IPSC shooters there, and they were demoing a stage for people that were coming in. And then also beside that, they had set up a steel challenge stage. So So people coming in the door, and you can see people's faces, like all the, that had never seen these kind of things before, and all the huge smiles, and I noticed a lot of couples, and it was a mix of like young couples and older couples, and it was great to see.
Awesome.
And of course, everybody just like seemed to be loving what they were seeing. So I think it was a huge success. Really, it
Nice.
was really well
Awesome.
done, and based on the reactions of people, I think it was a huge success.
Yeah.
And I think the way Jen set it up, that it was just an open house, but it wasn't clear that that was a gun range, a firing range. So there might have been people coming in that they had no idea what was going on, but it seems like they liked what they saw. So um, that like a great success overall.
Nice.
I signed up for another match in Grenville, which I'm going to be doing in 2 days. It so happens that Kelly was talking about buying a Shadow 2, and I had one that I used to use for the matches, and someone had posted in the Pc Ontario forum that they were looking for one, and it happened to be somebody that I knew that I had met at the matches, so I ended up selling it to him. Now it's all good that the sale has been made, but the transfer I've made, like I lost count of how many calls I made, and I'm sure everybody's going through this, right? Calling in for these transfers. And I've called at all different times. I tried first thing in the morning, just before 9 o'clock to try to get through. And then sometimes it goes straight to where it kicks you out. And then other times you're waiting for a couple of minutes. And then one time I was waiting for a lot longer. And I'm like, okay, I'm actually going to get through. This is great. And then I got booted out again. So so
Did
it
you
hasn't
email and fax them?
Yeah, so I ended up emailing them. I got the form, and I ended up emailing. That was yesterday, so I haven't heard anything back yet. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that actually goes through. So hopefully that'll get done at some point.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is everything for me. But okay, so we can get into. I guess everybody got their turn, right? Yes. Okay. So get into upcoming events sponsored by Telis Alpha. Telis Alpha is a Canadian digital agency that works exclusively in the firearms vertical. They help with business processes, strategic planning, websites, e-commerce, and battling the stigma the industry carries with banks, merchant processors, and social media. Learn more at telisalpha.com. So if you want to check out all the Maple Seed events, you can go to mapleseedrifleman.com. There should be some still available. Yes.
A few.
Later on there.
Some
Yeah,
spots,
we're
a
adding
little bit.
some right now too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure there's
So
still some available for Grand Prairie.
Yep.
Okay. So definitely go on the site and book a Maple Seed, because it's a lot
Hey,
of fun.
Mo,
Kelly.
you know what I'm going to ask, right?
Yes, I'm gonna do it. Me and my bottles of water and Gatorade and now trail mix apparently are going to be coming. So,
Go to
All right.
Costco, get the pack of hot rods that you'd find at like a gas station.
Nice.
They're so disgusting, but I
And
love
if you
taking
get-
them.
and
to
if you-
Vegas
Oh,
days.
the grease that comes off.
Yeah.
Of those.
do you want me to have that first thing in the morning before I start a Maple Seed?
Well, yeah, you gotta lube up the system.
Yeah, and if you get yourself some Molly, get a Molly vest, you can get the double mag pouches, and you can just stick like 4 in each mag pouch. You're good to go
There
all
you
day.
go.
Okay, good advice. Thank you.
Yeah, just wipe the dirt off from when you're down on the ground.
Okay,
Extra
then.
minerals.
So we'll talk about Ladies' Days. Kelly, also known as the CCFR Women's Division, is looking to support sponsored Ladies' Days events at your range. This is a range-driven initiative, but if you would like sponsorship and support, contact Kelly at slamfireradio@gmail.com or info@firearmsrights.ca.
Someone
And
emailed in
we've
about
had-
that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I replied.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't put in the Caribou Challenge into the events.
It's in the
Nope.
email. I
Yeah.
figured we put it in
okay.
the email, and the
Okay.
reason
Nothing's
is because
finalized yet.
All right.
Adriel,
Oh.
you're going to have to read through it.
Okay.
I don't call dibs on it.
Okay.
I do call
That's a
dibs.
former guest of ours that mailed that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but it's a little longer, so we put it in there instead of putting in the event section.
Perfect. Yeah, I'd love to do that one.
Okay. We'll get into the news. The first story is about handgun sales hot in Edmonton. Aren't they hot and hot everywhere?
Yeah. So, like, the only reason I added this one in is because they're saying that Kenny is promising to fight against the federal legislation.
Good.
It's a common thing here in Alberta. Whatever the federal government is doing, we pledge to do the opposite, and I agree with it most of the time.
How's that
Lately,
how's
that's a
that
damn
working
good
out so
idea.
far?
It fails every time, but
Yeah.
I'm glad that someone's complaining.
And puts us further down the ladder. Yeah.
We're always at the bottom of the ladder. Come
Yeah.
on, don't joke yourself. Yeah. Now that oil is nice and expensive, we get to pay for everyone else's nice stuff. But yeah, so the quote was from, I believe it was from P&D, and they're like, yeah, we sold all our handguns. And Kenny was talking about, he was saber rattling and talking about like, oh, this is some BS and we're going to fight this.
Maybe he
and
could
this
just
isn't real.
challenge Trudeau to single combat, and whoever wins it, their law goes.
Trudeau beat up the last conservative politician that he fought in the ring. I don't know if that's a good plan.
Oh,
He's young,
ring.
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
ring. Oh, I was thinking more pistols at dawn, but
Oh. I bet he's got pistols.
Can
I
Kenny
bet you
shoot?
Trudeau's got pistols.
the problem is Trudeau would bring 20 guys with pistols who have the good
Yeah.
pistols. They just shoot you.
Yeah, no, I don't think he'd win against Kenny. I think Kenny would lose. But I am glad that he's arguing that that they shouldn't be doing this. One thing that I don't know if you guys saw Runkle's video, but he was talking about protection orders.
Yep.
So protection orders are like an ex parte. You don't necessarily have to be there. Someone else can just be like, no, I need a protection order. Kelly has threatened to kill me, and
On multiple occasions.
on multiple occasions, and therefore I need.
Just-
You
a
know, it's
protection order.
joking, right?
This is a joke, and I'm doing this for illustration purposes only. The court doesn't have to hear from Kelly being like, "What the hell? No, that guy's crazy. That's obviously a lie." That protection order can be filed, and if it is, Kelly
Guess
can't
what?
own handguns.
I lose all my
Kelly
guns.
can't own handguns
come knocking
ever.
2 minutes later.
It's over, no matter whether my complaint is valid or not.
Really? Hadn't gotten to
Taking
that part of the video.
doxing to a whole new level.
Because a protection order is if you've ever had a protection order filed against you, legit or not, tough luck.
Then it would be Wheaton versus Adriel Michaud, and it'd be Amber Heard all over again. Except for I'd be Depp.
You'd be
Because
Depp.
you'd be
I want to be Depp. Come on.
You'd be
Okay.
filing the false.
I got an appointment with your bed, and it's not the kind of appointment you want it to be.
I think Kelly would pull the hat off better, so I'm going with
I'll
she's
blame
got-
the dog too.
Have you seen my dog? He's 17 pounds. I don't think it's gonna.
It's the size of the dog. Anyways, I thought the news item was interesting for that. Kenny's saying he's going to fight it. Next, the next link on there is this McLean's one on handgun sales. This is he's got a quote from Select Shooting Supplies. Is that the company? Ryan Simper.
Yeah, Ryan's with Select Shooting.
Okay, yeah,
Supplies.
Select Shooting Supplies. Yeah, he's basically we sold out all of our handguns. What's interesting in that article is that it talks about the process. It talks about like not only just like yes, they've all sold out, but also says like these have all been sold to people who have like gone through all this rigmarole and checked for this and checked for that. And by the way, the RCMP should not be spending time on this. They should be spending time on vetting license applicants and not taking our calls so we can say, can I please have a handgun? Can you please move this number from this database entry to this one so I can get my Glock 48 in the mail?
I was commenting to somebody on Facebook. It is remarkable how updating a database entry through the government is turned into some incredibly long and convoluted and expensive process when all you're literally doing is just drop down new owner, drop down old owner, new address, old. Probably autofills all that stuff. and
My
hits save.
design. Oh, no, it doesn't. Come on, Dave. You're thinking that they have like tech from 10 years ago. Come on. Come on.
That's how my stuff all works. It's easy.
Yeah, but you have things that are up to date. I do know working for the government, we have things that are 20 years old.
Well, if the CFC phone system is any example, I just helped roll out a phone system in my company, and if our phone system worked like that, I'd be looking for a job right now, and I'd probably fire myself. Why is it randomly hanging up on everyone? Like,
Not good.
What is it doing?
This is this is a once in a not a once in a lifetime, once in a generation.
Yeah.
This is not going to happen very often. The number of calls and number of restricted transfers they're going to have to do, like this is it.
Till they
weren't doing well with the volume before. Even before this, their volume was more than they could handle. Throw in 60 to 80,000 handgun transfers, and all of a sudden the system is really not doing well. To the surprise of no one.
Will we ever know the number?
We heard 60,000 last week. We heard 60,000, and that sounds credible. The other number I heard in terms of like restricted license owners is 276,000. So like 60 to 80,000. Keep in mind, like maybe they'd buy more, but like there's just nothing in stock. Like if you had a couple of Shadow 1s and Shadow 2s looking at you right now, it'd probably be more people buying, right? But if all we're stuck at looking at is crappy old revolvers, which no one wants.
Because they're junk, thanks to Adriel. Everybody's like, I was going to buy a revolver, but then I
Some people like them, Adriel. Some people like them.
Some people like, flintlocks too. Yeah,
Elwood Epps has very little stock. I just went and checked, and they normally have a storeroom full of handguns. Like they have hundreds of handguns. They have some really crappy prohibs, and they have a $24,000 Luger, if anyone happens to be into that.
24,000?
And 24 grand, yeah, and not much else. That's about it.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
So the retailers have been working their ass off, literally. I do know people that have been working overnight, 20 hours in a day, just to try and get those transfers into the system so that people can get their handguns.
They've been working.
They've been working.
The guys that I talked to who had their RPALs but no handgun, theirs are all transferred. So the retailers they bought from did their most part. One of them wasn't. That retailer will not be named. But next week, if they still haven't transferred, I'm throwing a name out.
There will be names.
Been warned.
They got a week to transfer all their handguns in their inventory. I think it's more than hundreds though, Dave, because like one of the smaller shops mentioned they did Profit River mentioned they did 800. And like they're not a huge shop
big
for handguns. Like I don't know what 10 to move. They move like probably like 10,000.
Oh, 10. Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I would bet that Elwood probably had
thousands. Yeah.
Thousands. Yeah.
Yep.
Next news item. US bans. This hasn't reached the Senate yet, but they voted on it and it went through that part. Not the Senate part, but the one before. And their bill, it's like there's been a bunch of mass shootings in the U.S. and they are voting on. There's kind of three things in this bill. It had like some smarmy double plus good title to it. But,
Protect Our Kids Act.
Kids Act. But the things that were in there, raising the minimum age for buying assault rifles to 21 years old. No more large capacity magazines. They could define large capacity as over 15 rounds, which that's going to make for some really weird AR mags, right? Because like the 20 rounder is kind of like the small dinky one for an AR. What are you gonna do with a 15 rounder? You have to like get some super small thing. And I think in the US they had mag cap limits before for these kinds of guns.
Some states.
So this is like going back to it
state by state.
Yeah. And then secure storage requirements. Though I haven't seen much details on those.
Or actually,
Richard was saying that
do something
646,000 restricted PAL owners per the gun blog. I would like to see a source on that if they've got one, because it's very difficult to find sources. And the 276,000 I was quoting was from
I think
an article.
He's talking actual RPAL holders, not transfers.
Licenses.
But, I understand that, but I don't. I haven't seen that number before. 646,000.
I heard 800,000 yesterday, but that was.
I don't think so. If there's 2.2 million non-restricted PAL owners, the number of RPAL owners has to be quite a bit less than that. quite a
It's
bit.
been growing a lot lately, though, the last couple of years. Like the
Yes.
number of
Yeah.
handguns in the country is almost doubled in, what, 10 years or something? Is it even 10 years?
10% every year. So like
Yeah.
the doubling effect is very short on that kind of a time frame. Yeah.
Everybody I know pretty much getting their PAL lately has just been going screw it and getting their R PAL anyway.
Makes
Yep.
sense.
That's because they have you as a friend. And you're like, get them both.
You're an idiot. Mine aren't getting our PAL, dumbass.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Looking for a way to help the CCFR fund the massive upcoming court battle? Now is more important than ever. Definitely. Become a member, donate to the legal fund by sending an EMT to finance@firearmsrights.ca.
I didn't realize that my membership had expired. I have no idea why. I found out last night, so I immediately renewed and donated money.
Good.
Awesome. I did see that. There's also a challenge out right now that Michael Oberg issued to everybody. So $5, pledge $5 a week. How much do you spend on a Starbucks coffee?
Nothing, because I can't
Nothing.
afford a $20 mocha frappuccino double soy latte from some
Okay.
jackass that has a title like a barista from a company that has a slogan. I can't eat at places that have slogans. I don't have that kind of money. What the hell's the tip on that? It's like $5 or something.
Holy shit. Have you
Brent,
replaced
you
what kind of
asked.
language is this?
You asked.
Anyways, $5 a week.
So the tip on your Starbucks coffee, in other words.
Correct. So it's a
Okay,
nominal fee. So pledge that
Yeah.
once a
good
week.
point.
I know that there is somebody who is watching, listening that has done that. So it's
Good, yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
could
and
also
you know
go to-
what? If everybody that had a handgun in Canada did that, the CCFR would be good to go.
hmm
Yep.
Or even just if you want to do like a one-time donation, $100, $500, $10,000. Somebody, you know what I saw? I saw somebody couldn't buy a gun that they were looking for, so they decided to take the money
I saw
and that they would have
Mhm.
spent on that gun, and they donated it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
That's great.
Cool.
And you saw what it, did we talk about IPSA Canada donated to?
Actually, I don't think that did get brought up.
No, we
Oh, I guess I
didn't.
should have put that. It was what, 29? It was 29,000. It was a year.
30,000,
50
yeah.
Yeah, 29 to 30,000. It was like a 50% of a year's worth of
Correct.
memberships,
Membership.
correct?
Yep.
So good on
Awesome.
IPSIC.
Well, if we are not allowed to possess or buy
Yes.
pistols, IPSC's done.
Done.
Yeah, that
You know, I
would
was
be-
thinking about like I'm always like super capitalist, like make money at all costs. And I was thinking about what if you just bought 10 Shadow ones and like kept them at your place? Okay. In the future, what if people want to shoot IPSC? They don't have a handgun. You go around to
Bring
like
it in.
matches and you're like, I have rental Shadow ones. You got a belt, you got holsters, mag
Wow.
pouches. Rent
Wow.
out
Hey,
Shadow
kid.
ones.
You need a Shadow one.
No,
You're the
you
guy
only
that
need
you're the guy
one.
that will go to the desert and charge $15 for a bottle of water.
Uh-huh.
So,
15.
Oh, would you make them
Cheap.
shoot your ammo? Sorry, no, the Shadow one only works with my ammo. My ammo is
Wait,
$1 a
I-
round.
Nobody shoots their ammo out of my gun. Period.
You're not blowing
That's
up my
just
gun
rule.
with your crappy reloads.
Exactly.
Their factory. Nah, I can't
Yeah.
trust them. Sorry.
I had a guy blow
Blaze
up a
Air?
gun.
Don't never heard of it.
I had a guy blow up a gun at a match, and then I loaned him my gun, and he's like, "Yep, I got ammo." And I'm like, "No, you do
Nope.
not." And then he emailed me after and said, "Yeah, good call. I pulled all the bullets when I got home, and they were all double loads."
Whoa. Yeah.
Jeez.
What are we doing right now?
New
now
gun
we're
stuff.
gonna talk about Slamfire Radio is a brand ambassador for Bolt Action Coffee. The coffee is roasted in small batches like ammo, and it's quite honestly some of the best coffee you can get your hands on. Send it to your house by going to www.boltactioncoffee.com. Discount code Slamfire, all uppercase. And we'll get into new gun stuff.
And this first one here, I saw the notice, but I haven't seen it. Like, I haven't seen very many specs on it. It's the Duria TM22. It's a 22. I don't know how they got this past without getting it classified as an AR-15. That looks like an AR-15 to me, doesn't it?
Looks like an AK to me because of the magazine.
Don't care.
I'm being
Oh,
facetious.
AK-15.
AK-15.
AR-47.
So it's got an AR kind of looking 22. It's got like a kind of a collapsible, but not collapsible because it's fixed butt stock, and it's got like the AR look on it. It's in 22. I have no idea what mags it takes. I have no idea what the action is on it, but it's got to be Turkish for it to be a Durya. I don't know. I'm not aware of any Turkish semi-auto 22, so I have no idea what this is.
Ooh, and they come in different colors. Pretty.
I wish I could zoom in on it, and then maybe I could like. What's the operating mechanism? Is this like a? Yeah, I don't know.
It's a blowback. 100% blowback.
That magazine. I wonder if that is the Mossberg Plinkster, because I think they make those. No, those are in Brazil. I don't know. Anyways, that's a new thing. There are no prices or anything like that out for these things just yet. They're just got announced. They're going to retailers.
Neat.
And then this one. Okay, so for some 3-gun shooters, they shoot the Ruger Pc Carbine. They have a CZ Shadow because that's like a great pistol. Boy, wouldn't it be nice to run just one kind of mag for both of those things?
Mm-hmm.
And Ruger has some magazine inserts for their Pc Carbine. They don't have a Shadow one. No, these guys made one. So
Cool.
Innovation Armory is making them, and they're selling them through Select Shooting Supplies.
Cool.
Nice.
$100. Run CZ mags in your Pc Carbine.
That's very cool.
For the people who need this thing, that's going to be a godsend. Gives you all kinds of flexibility because you can just have like a pile of mag pouches on the side, and if you're running your match, it doesn't. Oh, you short-handed yourself on the pistol. Just keep grabbing mags and just keep going. Right? It's fantastic.
Grab the wrong mags, which I've seen people do.
No such worry with this.
Okay.
Very cool.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Good job, Select Shooting Supplies.
God, there's some clever people in this industry, aren't there?
For sure.
Well, anyways. There are clever people in this industry. I'm not one of them.
You, Kelly.
I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm not one of those.
You just work hard.
Okay.
So for tonight's main topic, we were going to discuss what new handgun owners should know.
Yeah, so like there's I'm sure you guys helped some new handgun owners navigate and buy their first handgun. I did, and often when I do something, I like research the heck out of it and then write an article or talk about it or something like that. I was actually talking with you guys about this, and I'm like, I can't wait. I got to do an article now because I had 3 friends that were doing this, and I'm copying and pasting between the 3 of them to like let them all know this stuff. And I'm like, oh my god, I should
too much time.
yeah, and like when you tell one person about paperwork, why not just write one big write up that has like all the stuff in it? So why don't we talk about like some of the stuff first? Did we talk about what makes a good first handgun?
No, but remember when I said put a pin drop in it? That's something that I was talking to people about on the weekend. Those people that So let's talk about what
Q Kelly.
What?
What were you recommending?
Q Kelly. Well, no, I was just recommendations. So right now everybody's buying everything and anything that's available. So can't really be picky, but what makes a good first handgun? So let's talk about it a little bit because you actually did write and did a article.
I added a bunch of handguns to it because people are like, "K, CZ Shadow 1 or 2, fantastic. There are none." Now what? Block 17. Okay, thank you, Joel. There are none.
Yeah.
P320. Oh, great. There are none.
Okay.
What's next after that, right?
Yeah. So the caveat, and then the exact same thing that I did to those people. If you can find one, go to a CZ Shadow 1 or 2. And the reason is because it's multi-purpose. You can use it for a lot of different things. And then it's Glock. And then you start going down the list. And then you end up with the Ruger Wrangler. Anyways.
One of my buddies bought one. I actually bought a Ruger Wrangler in black.
Right.
I think the Ruger Wrangler has one fantastic use case: scratching the revolver itch. Once you have a Ruger Wrangler, you don't need to buy any other. No, sorry, I have a revolver. I don't need another one.
Cheap.
And
so I kind of went through the whole list just like Adriel did. So for his article, but I actually did it with people, and I said, "This is what you're going to do. You're going to go this, this, and this, and here's the reasons why." But yeah, it's weird to be sure a little bit of a brain there, I think. But anyways, so your conclusion was: do you want to talk conclusions, or you still want to talk about what makes a good first handgun?
Well, okay, let's talk about what's left on the shelves right now that might make a good handgun, because we mentioned Glock, Shadow 1, 1911. There are 1911s on the shelf right now.
Yeah, there are.
Extreme Gunworks has 1911 frames that are like high quality frames that you could use to start. Delask has a couple of frames as well. Delask has frame and barrel combos.
Yep.
So you could build something from that. Like, we're not just left with the like absolute dregs of handguns. They're just expensive. Like, that's the big barrier on those. And for a new handgun owner, like dropping $1,000 on a frame and barrel, and not even the rest of it, like that's a little bit much, right?
Yeah.
I had for some of the other like alternatives, like a P226 or a 226 clone.
Yep.
I have like an irrational hate for a couple of different guns, and the 226 is one of them, because it's like the height over bore is so much.
That's why I hate them. I can't.
Yeah,
and I don't like shooting them.
The slide release is like offensively in the wrong spot, to where you will always press it down and you'll never have that slide lock open unless you learn to always move your thumb like way out of the way. Beretta 92, good aftermarket, super expensive again. There's for what you get right now.
Some cheap surplus ones were around there for a bit. I saw a few people.
They're still around
Friday,
but they're the heel release.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're never going to want to run one of those in IPSC.
Yeah.
You know, if you weren't going to get a Beretta 92, the Gersan Regards, that's their Beretta 92 knockoff. They're really nice.
I saw a few of those around. They look really slick. Nice colors too.
500-ish. Yeah, you can get like all chrome plated or gold, or those are.
I like the gold ones. The gold ones are funny.
Yeah. Canic, I think, is still a good option. They're not as popular in Canada as they are in the US, but in the US they're very popular as like a budget handgun. So there should still be like decent aftermarket and parts and all that kind of stuff, just because you can just order from the States, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of stuff up here from the Jericho 941s. There's a bunch of surplus ones, police and military surplus, and they're very reasonably priced. I think they're like $499, $500 around there. That's a CZ75 clone. Good handgun. Especially if you can't get the Shadow, but you want something like it's not a Shadow, it's not even close, but it's kind of close. I guess that one is your option. I saw a Polymer 80 PFS, which is that's a full, not a Glock, and it was $650, and I almost bought it. I think I posted it to you guys. I was like, so tempted, because like try to find a Glock 17, can't. That is a Glock 17, but just with no finger grooves. Really. Or the Shadow Systems 920s are I didn't know that those 920s are accepted for production. That's crazy. Did you know that, Kyle?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're in the IPSC production list, and it's like a complete Gucci Glock, and you can shoot them in production.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yes.
The MR and the DR are both in there.
Yeah. And they're like, because like a regular Glock has got some downsides to it. You need to like change the trigger and that kind of stuff. By the time you get there, the DR920 or the MR920 is a good deal. So might as well just go straight forward, right? The CZ-P10Fs are good, but God, the price on those things is skyrocketed. 2 years ago, one of my buddies was selling one for $450, and he couldn't sell it. He had to sell it for even less. And now they're selling for $800 new.
Wow.
They're a good gun, though.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then like the IWI Masada, but like if that one's really, really new, it's hard to tell if it's going to have the staying power and if it's going to, like, there's no aftermarket for it. Like, so like there's some definite risk in buying that kind of stuff.
I like the look of that one, but yeah, ammo or mag pouches, holsters.
Parts, aftermarket are all going to be hard to find.
That's
like
boring.
Go buy a recoil spring for one.
Yeah.
Brownells, maybe Brownells. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I wonder if
I got some shit choices in here I wouldn't mind going over just to make some people mad.
Okay, let's do it.
I think that would be fun. Tokarev.
Just to make
Yeah.
Terrible option. The sights are garbage. It's a 7-pound single action trigger pull. Like it's not very good. You can't run surplus ammo for that thing in like in some indoor ranges, and you can't run it at IPSC. So yeah, not that great. The SD9
Tokarev.
would be funny.
Would
The
be funny.
SD9 VE, I think like for the price, it's an awful combination. Like have you guys shot an SD9 VE? They're real plasticky.
No.
They're real.
I haven't
plasticky.
shot one. I've done work on one, but I haven't shot one.
Did you swap the trigger springs on it? There's an
No, I
M-Carbo
was
spring
stippling
kit.
it.
Makes a big difference. Stip
Oh
one.
yeah.
Probably improve the value of it afterwards. I think if they're cheaper, it would be fine. Like they used to be selling for like $300, and I think at $300 they're okay. But right now they're way more than that. And it's really hard to look at those. Have you guys seen very many Springfield XD9s on the range?
I can't get over
No.
this. I can't get over the blocky
Oh, the grip
safety. Like, what is
safety.
that? Does it look stupid? And they're a horrible gun. I don't like them. So.
The only pistols I've seen like fail SD9s. The firing
like
pin,
fail,
retaining pin, fail. Yeah.
Oh.
Stoger STR9. It's another like polymer striker fired pistol, and that doesn't have enough weight behind it. It won't ever get enough people buying one. Terra TM9 for reasons I've talked about on this show before. And then the like Norinco CF98 or the other proprietary Norincos. And it's like any kind of proprietary unpopular gun is a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
No aftermarket for them.
So that's your complete list.
What do you guys? You guys have any that you would add or remove from that list?
Well, I mean, as far as support and everything, I would add the ground powers in there. Because you can't find anything for them.
On the bad list. On the shit list.
Yes, on the bad list. Yeah.
I'd add them on the
I
shit
always
list.
wanted one of those.
On the
But
shit.
there's just not enough people using them. So.
Well, my dad actually has the Excalibur, like their performance one, and you have to keep it cleaner than I have to keep my STI.
Yes, it has to be cleaned.
It has to
Yes,
be like
and
It
oiled.
can span clean
Yes.
for it to work
It's
with that rotating barrel and everything.
It's a nice shooting gun, though. It is.
Yeah. Oh, it does
you-
feel
yeah,
good.
parts.
It's just really tight.
Yeah.
Too tight.
I like
Yeah.
a gun that rattles a little bit.
Any others that you guys think
Yeah,
we should
buddy of
add?
mine got a brand new 1911. We took it to the range, a Para, like brand new, and that thing was so tight. And the gun didn't work. And it's like a brand new $1,500 gun. I brought out my made in Toronto Para that it rattles a little bit when you shake it. I put like 1,500 rounds through it in 2 days. Perfect, no problems. Worked great.
Para had QC at some point. They changed something in their manufacturer. Like the original ones were good, and then after at some point they're just all total garbage.
When they moved down to the States, maybe.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yep. Paperwork. What should a new gun owner expect for paperwork? It's different from than unrestricted, right?
Yeah. So there's some frustrations going on right now, obviously, with paperwork.
I bought it. Can't I just go pick it up?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
going to be a little bit of wait time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Depending on the
Yeah,
province.
depending on where you live. Apparently not in Alberta.
Well, okay, so I got it, but how long until I get my reg cert?
Yeah, I was
True.
going to bring that up. The waiting for the certificate that you can't move it along. You can't move it around until you receive that in the mail. So that's an extra step, right?
Yeah.
That'll be a month. I guess for like if anyone who's listening is a new handgun owner, once you get that reg cert, like laminate that thing, cut it, laminate, put it in your range kit because you'll just always take it to the range.
I
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
I make photocopies of them. I put one in my purse. Weirdly enough, I put one in.
on the edge.
I put one in my purse. I put one in my case with the handgun, and then I actually put one in my range bag, and I have extras
Good
Nice.
idea.
just in case.
In your purse.
I always have one in my range bag, and then I have it in at home just in case. So yeah, I'm the same. I always photocopy them. Take the photocopies with me.
Yeah.
So, funny story about that. I have a buddy who has 500 plus handguns. Last I heard, so he took all of his range certs, and he puts them in a binder, and he carries the binder around. And he got stopped one time, and they're like, "We need to see your your certificate," and he just handed them the binder and said, "You go nuts."
It's not alphabetical.
Oh,
I'm gonna hack a dart or two here. You
this
go
is
ahead.
just wherever. This is
I
wherever.
got a good book.
You want to go for dinner while we do this?
All right.
Yeah.
I have a funny
Yeah.
story about CBSA and long guns, but we'll talk about, maybe we can do that after this.
Okay.
And reg certs for non-restricted. Maybe it's
So
not
maybe
a
we
funny
should
story.
just discuss how it actually works. So you
let's
buy
go
your
through that.
you buy your handgun, and
Yes.
then you pay the store. Assume you're going to store here, because who knows if you'll see it on a private sale. Works the same with a private sale, just takes longer because you have to phone the stupid number or fax or email, maybe. So
Maybe.
once it gets processed in Miramichi, it goes to your CFO, and then your CFO, if you're in Alberta, hopefully, does their processing bit. I don't know why it's a two-part system, probably just to be stupid. And then you get an email, or you get a piece of paper in the mail. Usually these days you get an email saying, "Hey, you can go pick up your gun." Hopefully it includes an ATT, so you can go pick it up. Or can you pick it up now?
You can still
you
do
can pick
the
it up with no
ATT. You can
ATT.
still pick it up.
With your
You don't have
transfer
to apply.
notification, that gives you ability to go pick it up.
You can pick it up, but you can't go deliver it. That was the thing when I sold one. I
And
had
you
to
can't
get an
take it to the
ATT.
range to shoot.
So you go scurry away and you pick it up, and then you take it home, and then you wait for the reg cert to show up in the mail. And then once that shows up, then you can take it to the range to shoot it.
Correct.
If it's mail order, it'll just show up. And if you have to go pick it up from this post office, don't worry. You still need an ATT. You don't know what's inside that box. Don't open up
You're
your
going to pick
mail
up mail.
at the post
Mysterious
office.
box.
Open it up at home.
Mystery
Oh, it's a
box.
pistol. Neat.
Yep.
Good thing I'm home.
Yes.
Good point.
Yay.
Okay.
So
What
that's
about
the
range
process.
membership?
It does take a while. Yes. Sorry. Go ahead.
Paperwork and
Range.
process.
Yeah. What about range memberships? So, like, if
Mhm.
you're a new shooter, what like you got to get a range membership? Where are you going to? Unless you're in Ontario, in Alberta, you have to get one.
They won't.
In Ontario, you do not have to have one, but they'll still ask.
They will hassle you.
They do. Yeah.
Mhm.
They do.
So, what kind of membership should you get, if any?
Well,
Depends
you
on how
can't-
much shooting you're going to do.
Yeah.
If you, can
If you
get a
don't want to
membership.
shoot the pistol, then that's fine. You don't have to join a club.
Yeah, I believe in
let's
Alberta,
pretend
you
they're all
can go as a
gung-ho.
collector without a
Yeah.
range membership.
Not that they ever seem to check on that, but technically speaking, one of my friends in Ontario had not belonged to a range in, I don't know, 40 years or something like that. And he did get a call eventually, or a letter from the CFO that said, "Hey, you're not a member of a membership. Where have you been shooting?" He said, "I haven't been." And they said, "Well, then dispose of your gun." So he had to go become a member and then never went to the range.
Okay.
All right then.
So for that, if you're not planning on shooting it, if you're just going to sit on it, associate membership.
Yeah,
Just and
Much cheaper.
which is cheaper.
way cheaper. That Silver Core one's $50,
Oh, yeah.
and you can get the Silver Core one and still go to like public ranges, drop-in ranges. You can go to matches, so that you can still have what is it, shooting practice or what's on the form, or when they ask you what's your reason for owning a handgun?
Target shooting.
Target
shooting
shooting.
or collecting, yeah.
You can still have target shooting as your reason. You just it's target shooting. I have an associate membership here, and I like to go to matches, and I want to just travel and that kind of thing. It's fine.
Yeah, so it's $50 a year per
$50.
Silver
Saying
Core.
the same
Yep.
thing.
It's perfect. It is perfect for that. If you can't get into a club, I know that there's challenges
Yeah.
here in Ontario specifically with joining a club.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah,
just
it's hard,
can't.
especially if you're around the GTA. A lot of those clubs just either don't accept members, or some of them that are, there's a huge waiting list. I know Dufferin Anglers and Hunters, they have a pistol range there, and some of my friends, the waiting list there, I think, is it's at least 2 years now. I think it might be longer.
Yeah, it's the same as our club.
Yeah.
2.5, 3 years. People have been waiting. So yeah. So if they do want to purchase a pistol, they can purchase a pistol. This is a Silver Core is an excellent route for that. But also try and join your clubs as well. So
What kind of club should you look for? What's a good club? What's a good club look like?
Go visit.
Certified? certified range,
It's gotta
because
be
you need a
certified.
certified range in order to take your handgun to it. A short commute.
Indoor and outdoor would be nice if it's got
Yeah.
both.
A lot of
Indoor is
winter
nice in
around
the
here.
winter.
24/7 indoor is nice.
Never. Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, there's a few of those in Ontario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Berries 24/7. There's a few other ones.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Nice.
There are a few, but it's not necessary. You
Oh,
have
not
to do
necessary, no.
24/7, but access to it. A club that actually is not so busy and overrun that you can't get to the club or shoot, but then there's also clubs that have nobody at it and still have a big membership.
I like at this point. I like clubs that have lots of things on the calendar because I'll just join them. Oh, if I found a club that had like IPSC, IDPA, 3-gun, and I just bought a handgun, I want that club. I don't want the boring one where I'm going to sit at the line and like shoot at a target.
Talk
right?
to the club and see what they do. Some of them have action ranges. Some of them, I mean, Aurelia, where I used to be a member, I let it drop this year because I'm just not going to drive there all the time. It's too far. They've got a trap. They got multiple trap fields. They've got I can't remember what they call it, but the one where you walk around a big circle and shoot at different stations with shotguns.
Oh, there's
fields, sporting clays.
Sporting
clays.
Yeah.
And they've got a 5 stand. They've got a 100-yard rifle range, a 100-yard 22 range. They've got an indoor. They've got an action range. They've got a 200-yard. So go see what the facilities are like and see what the requirements are, because some of the clubs you're going to have to do work around the club every so often. Some of them, if you want to shoot on the action range, you're going to have a black badge. Some of them don't allow holsters at all. Some of them don't do handgun. Some of them only do rifles. Some of them do shotguns. So it depends on what the culture of the club is and what the primary focus is. And things like probationary shoots. I mean, there's some clubs where you'll join it and you have to do a year of probation where you can't shoot at the club
or a certain amount of visits.
And some of the clubs, that's very difficult because it'll be, 2 guys who can sign off on you and that's it. Some clubs, it's anybody can sign off on you.
Yeah, it could be certain days, certain nights of the week that they allow it during certain times, and
So we talked a little bit about like some club memberships aren't open, some of them are open, some of them are sponsor required, right? Too. So you may have to find someone who can sponsor you at the range, and you might not know anyone at the range. But like pro tip, go on the Facebook page and ask. Go on Reddit, Discord. Go to a match at the range, because some of these ranges will do like public matches, so you can sign up for a match, go to the match, and be like, "Hey, yeah, I want to become a member at this range. How do I do that?" And that person find a member and run that line of questioning across them. And they'll be like, "Oh, you just need a sponsor. I'll sponsor you," and you're in.
Yeah, and bring them a gift card and maybe an envelope of cash. That could work too, right?
Yeah.
Out in Alberta, you bribe with Pilsner. There's no this.
No, not Pilsner.
Pilsner is currency.
Like
sorry, maybe that's a
range.
Saskatchewan thing. Yeah, that's a Saskatchewan thing. I think
Cal's not sponsoring you for Pilsner. He's got he better bring some good whiskey or something.
Yeah, I think what you were saying there, Dave, is like watch the rule set. Make sure you're not signing up for a FUD range, because no rapid fire. Oh my God, run for the hills. Like no rapid fire is a dead giveaway that it's a FUD range. Holster certification or just no holsters at all. Like just watch out for that, because if you're gonna get a handgun, eventually you're gonna want to run the stupid thing out of a holster, and you won't be able to at your range.
Well, and a lot of them that have an action range, a lot of them don't. I've noticed a lot of Ontario ones. You can use a holster on the action range, and that's it. You're not allowed to.
It's static. It's not.
Carry it. So even a lot of them at the firing lines now, you're not allowed to wear a holster. So you gotta watch out for that. Oh yeah, like Aurelia, you cannot use a holster except when you're on the action range, and you have to have a black badge or some sort of a holster cert to use the action range. So
some ranges.
So my club, the only criteria is you have to take the ATT course, club level ATT. That's it, and then you can actually
that's not a thing anymore.
I know, right?
They all do that.
We still all do it, not here. Anyways, but also for a holster, just have somebody who's holster certified to actually sign off on it as well. So anybody who goes to FRPC, come and see me. I'll sign off on it.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah. And Mike was saying don't go to a fish and game range. Like Sherwood Park is a fish and game range, and they're
Yep.
pretty
They're
progressive.
all-
They allow
They're-
holsters. They
Yep.
have action shooting. I like it safety wise. I would rather be shooting with someone who has a holster than putting their handgun on the table, because often
No.
like that's when like things start
Yeah, it
spinning.
gets all
Or, like
spinning,
yeah,
sliding around.
holster that thing, man. Holster it. And if we got to go staples and targets down range, I don't. There's no handguns back there. It's in your holster. I'm
And
totally fine with
that's
that.
something that always pissed me off on the ranges where they say no holster. If I'm shooting with my handgun and I'm there by myself, my guns come down range with me. I don't care what the rule is. I don't leave my guns sitting up there, because I've been down range, like down at the 100-yard, and there's guys up unpacking their guns and setting them up while I'm down range.
Yeah.
Or people are like up range looking at your guns
we've
where you're
seen that.
down range.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
my stuff comes
Yeah.
with me if there's nobody there. And a holster is a great way to carry it, because I will tell you, carrying a handgun around on a range without a holster is a huge pain in the ass. It
Yeah, it
sucks
is.
when
They're
you're
too
carrying
big for your
targets and a
pockets
stapler.
and try to put them in your purse, and it
Yeah.
just doesn't work.
So Mike's saying Sherwood Park is the exception to the rule. Actually, the clubs that are around here, like Napanee as well as Lower Trent Valley, they're all fish and game clubs as well. And no, they are some of the most active ranges for action shooting. So it's
been a big
Yeah.
shift. It's a topic that one of the people over at Sherwood Park wanted to talk about at some point. Is this big shift in the fish and game, because a lot of them are fish and game ranges.
Yep.
Some of them are making the steps of like, how many people are actually here for the fish and game part, and how many people are here for the range? It's
One
like
guy at the back.
everyone's here for the
range.
range. Yeah.
Well, see,
Like,
I'm
maybe we
with
should.
Mike.
So that's actually one of the reasons. Sorry, Kyle, what were you going to say?
As I say, I'm with Mike. There's a couple exceptions, but from what I've seen, fish and game tends to kill ranges.
So that is one of the things I wanted to talk about. I do want to congratulate Sherwood Park on stepping up and making some changes. And the reason why that range is not going to get killed, besides the fact they have 2,000 members. But
no, way more than that.
yeah, well,
Like,
anyways,
the ranges I belong to have 3,000 to 5,000 members plus.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because we limit here in Ontario, again, center of the universe. But you have to be progressive in order for your club to survive, and if not, they will go the way of the dodo bird.
You know what the worst thing to me is when you're at a meeting, and a club meeting, and this happened at one club I used to belong to, because the club was pretty much run by the cowboy action guys. Didn't like action anything other than cowboy action. If it didn't have cowboy in front of it and you weren't wearing your assless chaps, it was bad. So, you'd bring up like, let's have more IPSC matches. There's never anybody at this club. Why are we limited to 350? Well, blah, blah, blah. But there's literally no one here ever, and we can't find enough range officers.
Right.
Open it up. Who cares?
I want to make sure that when I come, the excuses, I want to make sure when I come that I have a range available to me. I don't want people, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
But that doesn't save the sport.
No.
That doesn't save it,
No.
because you're limiting the number of people who can go to the range, and it's not saving the sport. I think that there's ranges out there like that, but you got to just put the effort in. You got to put the effort in either in showing them that it can be safe and running that local IPSC club, or getting the right people voted in.
Yeah. Show up with all
And the
your
wrong
Change
people.
hearts and minds.
Yeah. I tend to speak up at club meetings and that. I did belong to a club where I wasn't allowed to be a member. I could be an associate member because I was a female. Anyways.
What year is this?
Right? And so I did speak up because we weren't allowed to have action shooting. And I said, listen, you guys are all 75, 80 years old, correct? And they're all going, I said, well, if you don't make some changes, your club that you want to go and shoot at will no longer exist. So you guys are old, and the reality is you'll be dying soon. I did say that. And
sooner if you argue more.
I said, you need to make some. I said, this needs to change. You need to let women into this club, and you need to have action shooting. This needs to change.
Yep.
And it does. And action shooting is super popular. And you look
It is.
at the people who come out to matches, and you're like, hey, we've got our little whatever 2,200 yard precision match that you've been doing for 1,000 years, and we get 10 guys out to it. We did NIPSC match. We had 400 people here, and they all paid a huge amount of money that went to the club. What's your
And
problem?
the local area, like the other thing you do when you get those 400 people matches is you find the local hotel, say, hey, I've got 400 people coming to this. Can you give me a code that they can use to go to your hotel? And then those hotel people are probably connected to the local council.
Yep.
And you could also mention it. Yeah, we had 400 people. The local hotel booked a block of like 20 rooms or 30 rooms, and that stuff all plays really well into keeping that range there.
Yeah, you have to be engaged with the community.
Yeah.
One of the big things that happened in one of the clubs I was a member at was they were trying to shut them down for a lot of shooting. And the major thing that the anti-gun guy from Toronto, who moved up and then got on council and started kicking up all kinds of noise about the gun club and shutting them down, was that, none of these people are local. These are not local people. They don't spend any money here. They just come here and make noise and piss us all off. And then they're off to wherever it is that they live. And that was total BS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a weird argument, but
Yeah.
you have to be part of the community.
Other things for new handgun owners. Is this enough?
Get involved. I just
Get
have to
involved.
say.
Yeah. Volunteer.
Yep.
Shoot a couple of matches. Volunteer for them.
Yeah.
People will probably put you to work.
Patch targets. If you patch targets, everyone will love you.
Mm-hmm.
And make some
show
friends.
up early.
Make
Well,
friends.
I think a lot of adults don't have like a hobby that they do, and like their friends are maybe like the same friends they've had since high school. And something like this is a fantastic way to meet a bunch of really, really great people.
Yep.
Yeah.
New people, great people.
Agreed.
Volunteer. That's one of the things.
Mhm.
Volunteer. So if you want action shooting, volunteer to actually help run the section.
Yeah.
And the reason is because you'll make it happen. And as Adriel says, you'll get to meet new people. You get to try things out. Your range will be more dynamic.
Yeah.
You'll have fun.
And when
I'll
somebody
even break it
somebody
down
said-
simpler. If you want your voice to actually be heard and mean something at the range, at like a meeting or something, the more you volunteer, the more chances that you'll actually be heard and considered. If you're a green fee shooter, less chance of you actually being listened to or taken serious. I should say,
And it's hard to take people not seriously when they say someone needs to do that, and it turns out that you're the someone. Because the world is run by people who show up. I mean, when I go to gun club meetings, some of the associations I'm a member of, there's like 400 or 500 people. 30 of them show up for meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems about right.
So show up. The world is run by those who make the effort to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or
We
you have
get
a meeting
cool
and
stuff afterwards as
people
well.
who weren't there, people who weren't at the meeting start complaining about stuff that's done. So you realize we have meetings to go over this stuff, and
Yeah, I love that. Oh, I'm sorry, you weren't there to vote? Well, then you can STFU because, yeah, too bad.
I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
That was it.
Are there tips for new handgun owners?
Well, we can talk about the transportation. So it's obviously different than transporting non-restricted, right? The extra locks.
Measures, locks.
The non-restricted doesn't fit in your pants. The
route.
restricted does.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Right?
Oh. So yeah, so definitely a trigger locked case.
Opaque locked case.
Oh, sorry, opaque locked case.
So no putting it in your Tupperware.
Combo.
And, wrapping a wire tie around it.
Yeah,
Combos.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Combos on everything.
Combos on everything.
Don't be fussing around with keys. So
Yeah.
These are
Because
stuff.
you'll have a million of them. You'll get you'll add on locks after a while, and it'll just take
And
too
there's always somebody who shows up at a match who can't find their keys because they left them at home. And don't
And it's
say your
always fun to
combination
shoot
with
the lock off.
911.
shoot the lock up. Stand back.
Don't
Done
put
it.
your combination with 911 because everyone does that.
If you got like a little screwdriver, the trigger locks come right off, and those
Yeah,
cable
the cheap
locks-
ones. And it was, yeah.
They'll shoot them off.
The cheap ones.
Even the expensive ones.
So other things people need to be aware of: it's to the range and back. You can't stop and go and shopping, having dinner.
Oh, the
and
direct
then,
route, yeah.
it's direct route.
Yes.
Reasonably direct.
Like
Reasonably
reasonably direct
direct
is pretty
route.
open.
Yeah.
So, reasonably direct. I called the CFO and asked them some questions about that one time, and I should have just kept my mouth shut and done what I wanted because it would have been reasonable in my opinion. But yeah, like if you've got a match that's down the road from your house and you're going to the next province shopping and then coming back, leave your handguns at home.
As soon as you cross the provincial border, they will want an ATT.
Yeah.
But if you're in province and it's reasonable, like you're gonna go to your buddy's place and maybe you'll grab some food on the way and go, like that's fine. At least it is in Alberta.
I think it's the same thing on Ontario. You get your long-term ATT that gives you transport to any range in the province.
Other than military bases, you need a special ATT for
any
that,
public
should you be shooting
range
at one of those.
in the province.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
that should cover transport. And then we had kits for competition. So I was just going to suggest there's always people selling used ones too. So if you don't want to go out and buy the most expensive, like CR Speed holsters and Ghost and all that stuff, there's always in the forums the people selling they're upgrading or getting out of the sport, and you can get yourself a belt and the mag pouches, and
That's how I got all my
Just
stuff.
buy
Yeah,
like a
so-
Serpa holster or the all-in-one nylon holster. Or...
yeah. Because I mean, if you buy them all separately, it definitely adds up if you're getting good stuff. But when you're buying, something.
Plus, you're not giving the government any more taxes to persecute gun owners if you buy used equipment. Although, unless it's from one of our sponsors, of course. Then
And from what I've seen, like the good belts and holsters, they last, right? It's not like they break down quickly. So, if it's been used by somebody for shooting 5-10 years, it's still probably pretty good.
There's still some quality, cheaper stuff out there. Like I was joking with the Serpa nylon holster. Like you can go get a Blade Tech setup, and it's not going to
it's
break
fine.
the bank, and
Yeah,
it will
Blade
be
Tech is good.
It'll be good.
Bulletproof.
aren't expensive.
Bulletproof. Yeah.
It's a lot
You'll
of
never
cheap
break a holster. You'll break your shot shell caddies for shotgun if you like lay on them sideways or something like that. I've laid on my holster and I've never broken one.
How about if you run over it, will it break it?
With a car, I can find out.
Yeah.
I think so.
Bet you
There's
not
like
if
a
there's
lot
a
of
gun in there.
air in there.
Time to make a video.
If there's a gun in there, I can't do that part.
No gun, no gun.
We'll do it. You do it at the range, like action range.
I don't want my range to see me doing this.
What are you doing? Nothing.
A test. Testing something. Yeah. No, but like a good stiff belt. Don't cheap out on the belt. You might be able to cheap out on the mag pouches. Like I've had fine results with using like AliExpress, eBay mag pouches. Holster, like Blade Techs are cheap enough that there's no point in going to like a knockoff on one of those, unless you want to get like a
but belt. Yeah, you want a nice solid belt. Like
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
something
so
to
I
think about, if you can
there.
find a cheap Kydex, I don't know if AliExpress has that, but if they do, cheap Kydex off AliExpress, you can always take a heat gun and make it better and make it fit better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spend money on decent gear though. Like don't buy garbage because
No,
you buy good stuff, you don't regret it. But yeah, there is some cheaper stuff like Blade Techs. They're fine. See a lot of those.
I love my cheap mag, but my pistol mag pouches are all complete knockoffs and they're all fine.
Can you jump up and down, or do you have mags go flying?
No, they're all adjustable torsion on them.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
the
Should
last
do an article on the cheapest IPSC shooting rig that you can put together off AliExpress, Adriel, and then go shoot a
The
mag.
belts.
Oh.
You can't use the belts. The belts are all
Nope,
garbage.
You're going to.
I have one. It's garbage.
the frugal shooter. So the last thing we were going to touch was training. So what's out there for, I guess, handgun training?
It's all over the map. We don't have
Yeah.
like a consistent.
Yeah, well,
pistol.
it's not definitely not like the
right
US
back.
where they have dedicated places for that sort of stuff.
well, we do have some dedicated places, but
It's not national. Like we don't have national pistol training that we like. I couldn't recommend anything for someone to take here that would be the same where Kelly is, other than Black Badge. But Black Badge isn't handgun training. It's how to shoot IPSC.
how to shoot IPSC
Yeah.
safely, right? That's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
You should already have your fundamentals in it and that underneath you if you're going to a
Yeah.
black
Yeah.
badge.
Yeah, so like find a fundamentals course and talk to people about who's instructing it, because there's no standard for calling yourself an instructor in Canada either. So you could have Hillbilly Bob Joe Schmo there figuring he's going to teach you. I don't know.
Yeah, but get training, because like handgun shooting is hard. When you first start, like your first couple of shots will be like amazingly accurate, and your accuracy is going to start downgrading. You're like, what's going on? Why are these so bad? It's
flinching, anticipating this, so
it's going to happen, and it's going to be frustrating, and then that pistol's just going to sit on your shelf. But if you go to like a 1-day $200 course, it changes everything. Then you know what to look for. Then you know how to diagnose problems. Then you know how to like self-diagnose what's going on and improve yourself.
Also, check with your local range, see if there's a special group that meets up semi-regularly, like with our range, with our dynamic pistol group that meets every second week or whatever. Build it for everybody. Oh, you're brand new, never drawn. Okay, well, we're going to work with you a bit, and it works on fundamentals and then more advanced stuff, and you just get a mix of everything, and you'll progress and get
a
there.
nightly
And
fun shoot kind of a thing, right? Like Thursday night fun shoots. Terrific for that kind of stuff. Casual, easy to get into.
Did we mention dry firing?
No.
Until you got the fundamentals, though, don't.
Yeah.
Until you know what it's supposed to feel like, you're just gonna be training bad habits.
That's true.
Yeah.
Good point.
Cool.
Okay, so
All right.
I guess that covers that. We'll get into listener feedback, sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, and Cerakote finishes, as well as wood refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearms accessories, optics, and more at www.dcgunsmith.ca. You can also follow him on Facebook and Instagram. And I believe we do have an email. And
it's the Caribou Challenge, but it says don't publish it until I give the go ahead. So I think that's like a Caribou Challenge coming soon, September 3rd and 4th. It's a 2-gun match in BC.
I didn't read that part.
okay, so we're just
read that. Right at the top. Like, okay, and then you're saying emails. What we're gonna read?
Oh, okay. So disregard what I said.
So why don't we leave it till next week?
That's a teaser for next week.
Stay tuned for dates and updates for Caribou Challenge, Brutality Shooting Competition, and hopefully, we'll have dates soon.
We should read things more.
I should have put it in italics.
Okay, that's and if you'd like to support the show, you can do so through Patreon, patreon.com/Slamfire Radio. If you'd like to send us an email, you can do that as well through slamfireradio@gmail.com.
Okay, I have a suggestion. If you don't want us to read it, put it in big capital letters at the top.
Or if you don't want us to read it.
It was the second line.
It was,
I don't even see the emails, so I don't know.
We just read everything sent to us, so don't send it if you don't want it read.
Verbatim,
We don't read instructions well.
But we will read it next week, so thank you. Let us know when it's released, and we'll be happy to do it.
Please do not read this on the air. I repeat, do not read this on the air. I can't stress enough. Do not read this.
And then we read it on the air. I wrote a blues song, but I'm gonna sing it next week. I'll save it.
Okay, wow, we're teasing a lot for next week. Dave might be a little bit more angry. We may have transfers. There's going to be possibly more letters.
See, it's the same size. I'm going to put it really big.
200 font, 1 letter on each page.
We'll get into the shout outs. Who wants to start? Who's got a shout out?
I got a couple. One to Dave J from Tabor. This is a gentleman and a scholar. He set us up really well down there. brought coffee in the morning. Oh, always love when my maple seeds have coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Nice.
And they are like just so super open for events, and yeah, it was fantastic. Had a great time there. I want to do some more. I want to do some double headers down there. If I'm gonna make my drive down, I'm gonna do
Might as
2.
well.
They filled it up super quick. They got a bunch of really good shooters out there, and yeah, I'd like to go again. And then prior that 3-gun match that I'm going to this weekend, thanks to Mark for putting that on, because that's something new, and I like seeing 3-gun everywhere. So
Cool.
thank you.
Cool deal. I guess I'm going next.
Sure.
Yes. All right.
Yeah,
so I
anybody,
just
go
wanted.
ahead.
Okay. So just want to say thank you to everybody who came out to the EOSC National Range Day and had fun times. Thank you to everybody who took the time to volunteer as well. We had a plethora of volunteers and they made the day such a great day. And I wanted to say thank you to Vortex for coming out as well and volunteering their time. I know that they were at CanSec and it was a long, long week, but they stayed an extra 2 days so that they could attend the range day as well. And then I got this cool hat as well. So thank you to them. I just wanted to say thank you for that. And yeah, that's it for me. Kyle?
I'd like to shout out Steve-O and Peace River for he set a date on for Saturday and then made it a 2-day, 2 matches, 3-gun, and then bumping up the days on the team match just to ensure that we don't get cut short of any 3-gun matches this year.
Awesome.
Nice.
Good.
Cool. I got one more.
One
Tammy.
more.
Tammy was my my partner in crime at Sherwood Park, and she was amazing with the MLAs, and just in her enthusiasm was just infectious with talking to people, and she's super passionate.
Nice.
That's what we need.
Yep, passion is good. Shout out to Kyle O, who's buying a Webley off me. He sent me pictures of his collection and the story of, sort of he's a World War I, World War II collector. He's got all sorts of crazy stuff. Talks to our Alberta CFO because they have a similar fetish for Japanese pistols, apparently. Strange people. Anyway. So yeah, he sent me photos of part of his collection. He's trying to fill in the bits while he can. And yeah, great collection, man. It's awesome. Very cool. Nice guy too. Talked to him a wee bit.
Somebody's phone's ringing.
Yeah. And my shout out is to all the folks that worked the National Range Day at Cornwall. Again, It was a great day, and all the first timers that came in there and got to shoot or got to watch people shoot seemed to love it, and it was just a great experience. And so definitely big props to all of them. And that's it.
Yeah. Next year will be bigger and better, even more
Bigger
ranges.
and better. Yeah.
Yep.
So, okay.
And check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. Like us on Facebook. We have many. Give us a review on Facebook. Join the CCFR, and see you next week.
Later, everyone.
Night.
Goodbye, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Dave.